Since I was a kid, I've been building all sorts of crazy things, from custom multi-lane wide Hot Wheels tracks to, even as you can see, race car style stop motion animation videos, and even designing race car styled shoes. Ask anyone. I've always been into cars and creativity. As I've gotten older, these two primary passions in my life have only grown as I've gotten into drawing cars, car design, paint scheme design and drawing, car photography, collecting way too many diecast cars, and of course, screaming at the racetrack while my favorite driver takes the checkered flag. These things have made me who I am today. My name is Cameron Hawkins, and I'm a gearhead, a stylist, a hands-on builder, a critical thinker, a perfectionist, and most importantly, a designer. Today, we're going to go over what true driving is, why it's under threat, why we should save it, some current solutions today, my research and process, my solutions, and then a recap. So let's jump right in. What is true driving? True driving is freedom. And I think Matthew Crawford's book, Why We Drive, explains it very well. True driving is to be free. It's because movement is a fundamental part of our freedom, and cars are the primary way we express this today. A true sense of freedom requires effort and responsibility. And today, we don't drive, we commute and we transport. To drive is to be free. In addition, Crawford talks about what true play is. And he states that it's a pause from the normal day. It's tactile, and it's something we're moving away from in the automotive industry. He also mentions that the essence of play spirit is to dare, to risk, to bear uncertainty, and to endure tension. So why do us car people love true driving? I'll tell you. It's because to push limits and succeed is exhilarating. To feel the car as if it's an extension of yourself is a wonderful feeling as well. Having full raw control of the vehicle, even at low speed, is liberating and very exciting. So why exactly is enthusiast driving under threat? It's because there's a loss of freedom taking place. And Wally predicts this very well, and as well as illustrating it. The people today were given a solution, autonomy, to a question that no one initially asked about. It was labeled as a health and safety measure. And drivers now don't care much about driving anyway. In the movie Wall-E, fortunately, the people realize their freedom is gone and they fight to get it back. In this graph, we can see that as driver engagement continues to decline, the integration of autonomy is only going to continue to incline. Sad day. So why exactly should we save true driving? Well, it's a significant part of our culture. And that's because it's connected to our stories, such as most people's first true experience of freedom is learning how to drive a car and getting their license for the first time. Also, what about that drive away from your wedding on your honeymoon? In addition, the government already protects so much of our culture today. Some examples include cycling with bike lanes, sports with basketball courts and soccer fields, national parks, art galleries and museums with the Antiquities Act, and even historical buildings with the National Historic Preservation Act. Without protection, unfortunately, the car culture will be devalued and will be lost. Which brings me to my problem statement, which states that the ability to freely enjoy driving the original automobile and preserve its history and culture is dying as more driving rules are made and more automation is integrated as we continue to progress towards full autonomy. The auto enthusiast needs a place to freely enjoy their lifestyle and hobby. So what are some current solutions on the market today? First off, we have car country clubs, but they can be upwards of $100,000 just to get in. Then there's private tracks, but they're restricted to a closed circuit. Next, there's car condo communities, but again, they're expensive with being up to $500,000 to own one. There's also similar noteworthy solutions, such as air parks. They're similar to car country clubs, as they're a social community based around a common occupation or hobby, in this case, flying in planes. There are also current cultural activities within the automotive field that help keep it alive and going, such as clubs and driving experiences, tour drives, car shows, and more. But the problem still remains. There's no effective solution for the future. There's already a lack of engagement while driving. There's going to be an imminent loss of a part of our history and culture with autonomous coming in. It's going to be unavailable to a majority of car lovers in the future. And the original automobile will lose value. It's only going to be a performance toy for the wealthy. We'll lose an avenue to express our freedom as we give up control for more comfort. Also, we'll have an inability to enjoy automotive activities to the fullest. So this project aims to keep the car culture and enthusiast driving alive through the creation of a future enthusiast experience. Some design guidelines go as follows. We need to create a stimulating and exciting experience for many different types of car lovers. We need to remember and celebrate the history and cultural impact of the original automobile. We need to allow easy financial access to original automobiles and activities. And last and most importantly, preserve automotive freedom of expression. So, what is the solution? Well, I had to go about some research and my process to find that. And that involved reading some books, doing some other forms of research, taking many notes, writing many sticky notes, as well as getting the opportunity to talk to some professionals. Upon doing all of this, I ended up stumbling across a fun set of twisty roads in Texas called the Twisted Sisters. Then a small town of Barksdale, which could be a potential host town. It needs some love and some rehab, but we'll get it up there. Then I found a section of land that's only a mile or two from Barksdale on the Twisted Sisters route, and it would make an excellent fit for a potential automotive section of town. So as a whole, it's an excellent location. It's roughly a 15 by 25 mile space. It's ripe for development and growth. It's in the middle of nowhere, so it's not going to affect anything. It's about a 2-hour drive from San Antonio. It's only a 3-hour drive from the nearest major track, being the Circuit of the Americas. It has long, freeing, open roads, and it's nearby a potential host town. So I present to you the solution. Welcome to the Texas Twisted Sisters Driving Park, a safe haven driving park for human-driven cars to roam free. Let's dive right into this. So welcome to Barksdale, home of the Twisted Sisters. Barksdale, similarly to Radiator Springs from the movie Cars, is going to go through a major revitalization. The motels will be updated, we'll add a welcome center, a small auto museum, and why not even some go-karts for the kids, and more. The automotive section of the town will include a driving experience, car condos, a training center, and more as well. And of course, let's not forget the driving park itself, which becomes a road system only for human-driven cars. And did I mention there's no speed limits here? Well, there's some, but only where absolutely necessary for safety precaution. So next, let's take a look at what the road map and road system will look like. But first, it's worthy of note that each square on this grid represents a mile, so you have a sense of scale. So first off, we have the Twisted Sister routes, which are made up of routes 335, 36, and 37. Next, we have the main branch routes, which connect the twist sister routes, and they are called the 340s. Third, we have the secondary branch routes, being the 350s. And fourthly, we have the branch connectors, being the 360s. So it's very easy to access the roads within the twist assisters and get around. Now, taking a look at the license class system, we have Class A, B, C, and Instructor, depending on your skill level and the level of difficulty of the road that you want to drive on. These line up with the road signage system, being A, B, C again, as well as some warning signs for, again, safety, such as pull-off zones, intersection ahead, and maintenance road. All of these coincide with the road map itself. Our main twisted sister roads would be Class C, the branches would be Class B, and everything else would be Class A. Moving on, then I decided I needed to make a mood board to get an overall feel for the look of the town. I wanted it to be warm and modern, classic, but also homey. And lastly, you need to be able to tell this is a car place as soon as you get here. All this to make a well-rounded design that will appeal to a wide variety of people. So who exactly is this project for? First off, meet David. David is a tourist exploring a new experience. He's on a small budget and he's never driven a car. David gets to Barksdale and first visits the Welcome Center. This is the current building that I'm proposing to be redone. It will be restored and converted, and the proposed concept gives a very modern touch, but also maintains the original shape of the building. Taking a look at some renders, this is how the building looks from the road as you drive by. It's noteworthy that the entrance is in the rear of the building. The Welcome Center also has a nice courtyard that is accessible through the side doors. And then taking a look, this is the interior of the Welcome Center. It has a nice seating area, as well as a car on display for visitors. And thirdly, a gift shop to the side to pick up some memorabilia. David's next stop is the motel to get settled in for the weekend. The motel is currently run down and really in need of a refresh too. So this concept updates it, maintains the original shape, and also doubles it in size for the anticipated higher traffic. After this, David proceeds to the driving park to experience it in various ways, such as ride-alongs, driving experiences, car rentals, and others. And when he gets tired and needs a break from the cars, he can go to the Devil's Pit in Rockingham, which is only about a half-hour drive from Barksdale. So next, meet Jim. Jim is our instructor and a founding partner of the driving park. He's also a very experienced driver, and Jim works at the training center because without original cars, there's no licenses. In the concept, again, I wanted to display a very modern but warm design. I also wanted to create an aesthetic that resembles parts of a car, such as the air intake style roofing above the offices. Taking a look at the renders, this is the front view, and you can also see the lobby through the windows. In this angle, we can see the rear where the classroom is visible, as well as the back door into the office space. Here's an aerial shot, and you can see a couple cars going out to the training course. Then here, you can also see the air intake style roofing, again, right above the offices. Next, let's take a walk into the lobby. This is the entrance and a secondary view. This is what one of the classrooms might look like. And then lastly, this is Instructor Jim's office. So thirdly, let's meet Cayman. Cayman is an enthusiast that visits the park regularly. He's on a medium budget and he's a Class B driver. And also, he has a car stored in the car barns. which is an automotive storage rental facility just for cars. I call them the sister barns, and this is a view from the entrance. Again, a goal keeping with that modern barn style, similarly to the Welcome Center. So our last guest is Ethan. He's a very committed enthusiast with a large budget, a Class A license, and owns 3 cars. And lastly, he also owns a car condo. The concept for this was, again, to keep a warm, modern, but classic. I even added a touch of farmhouse into this style, appealing to a wide audience. Taking a look at some renders, this is a view from the entrance into the car condo facility. We can also see there is a 2-floor and 3-floor variation, but we're going to focus on the 3-floor variation for the interior. All of the car condos in a car town are all geared around the garage because the cars are the centerpiece. And then here's the living room in the back. We also have the kitchen and dining in the loft space on the 2nd floor. And this is what one of the bedrooms could look like. So lastly in this project, I believed it was important to visualize what a day in the driving park could actually look like. So I made a model to visualize what a time travel festival could look like taking place. This is the entrance gate to specifically one of the Class A routes. Here's the festival taking place as a car is taking off from the gate. You can see some people on the grandstands that are watching the event take place, as well as some cars parked at the rest area. Here you can see that this car here, the blue car, is scanning their license to get the gate to open so they're allowed to come in. So now let's do a quick recap. Have we created a stimulating and exciting experience for many types of car lovers? Yes. Have we remembered and celebrated the history and cultural impact of the original automobile? Yes. Have we allowed easy financial access to original cars and activities? Yes. And most importantly, have we preserved automotive freedom of expression? And the answer is resoundingly yes. So in conclusion, we have successfully created a safe haven driving park for human-driven cars to roam free. Thank you.